The kind of love that makes you alone. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by the kind of love that makes you alone? And is that good? Is that what we want? Is that what love is supposed to be? You know, we talk about falling in love. We talk about, oh, I want to fall in love with this ideal person, and they're going to make me feel this way, and they're going to make me feel that way. And we think about, how our hearts are going to expand, and when we kiss our ladies, right, our legs will pop, and it'll be this like movie set thing, and everything's all organic chocolate roses, and as I always say, like, glitter out a unicorn's rear end, right? But that's not, number one, it's not real. Number two, it's not really what we want. We're human beings, and we need the ebb and the flow of relationship. We need contrast in our life, because contrast is one of life's greatest teachers. It tells us exactly what we want and what we don't want. It's exactly what we need, which is why we experience contrast in life. But then when we get to love, we don't really want to experience contrast. We just want it perfect. We want it perfect. We want the Hollywood story, especially as women. But you know what, guys? You want it too. You want the perfect woman, and you want her to be perfect all the time. Yeah, now, granted, men and women alike, we all go, oh, I get it. We're going to be sick. We're going to suffer. We're going to lose our jobs. We're going to have children to raise. We're going to have, these different family stuff and disagreements and all that kind of stuff. And we think of it as all as little stuff. But here's the thing. When we have those contrasts, that conflict in relationship, what ends up happening is that we try to control the other person. And that's what ends up happening a lot. We argue. Why? We argue not for the sake of having a goal come about of coming together, but we argue to be understood. We argue to make our point known, and ideally to get the other person to think or feel or do what we want or how we feel, right? So we want that, which means that we're not really fully accepting of that person. Now, when I say the kind of love that makes us alone. This morning, I was sitting in bed with my partner, like we do every morning, having our morning coffee with just a little bit of light coming in the room, all snuggled up next to each other. And he went and he got coffee, and we were talking a little bit, and then we did a little bit of stuff online, and I jumped on Facebook here, and I follow Rebel Lion, and I encourage any of you that don't know Rebel Lion to definitely follow Rebel Lion, because whoever runs Rebel Lion is effing amazing, okay? They are absolutely amazing. I believe there's multiple people there, but they're always posting to some of the stuff that's, that everything's just amazing. It's just amazing. It's just great. Just go follow them. Rebel Lion. So they posted an Osho quote, a paragraph on Osho, and he was talking about love. And the love that they had posted on there was about just this, the kind of love that makes us alone. What is that kind of love? And, and it doesn't sound very appealing, does it? Oh, I'm going to be in love, but I'm going to be now more alone than ever because I'm in love. Well, what this means is that this kind of love is a mature love. This kind of love is a respectful love. This kind of love is an authentic love based in integrity, based in two mature people coming together that already could stand on their own. They didn't need to be in love to be strong at their core, to know who they are, and to have their lives unfold in beauty and abundance in lots of ways. They didn't need each other to be happy. Immature love needs somebody else to fulfill them. And that's what we say often, right? Oh, this person fulfills us. They complete us. Well, that completion, that fulfillment, just shows that we're not complete in ourselves, that we're broken or immature in some way. And that means that we are falling into love. So to fall, which would mean basically, as Osho states, is to basically, we're already on the process of crashing. But when we are in a mature relationship and we enter love in a mature state already, so strong at our core, knowing who we are, loving ourselves, guess what? We now rise in love. But much like the eagle that flies so high above everything, high above the storms, they're not sitting around with all the little black birds chit-chatting around on the power lines. No, eagles fly above everything. And they are that majestic bird that we all look to and we go, wow, there's an eagle. There's an eagle. We don't go, wow, there's a blackbird. Well, much like the eagle rises. The eagle has a vibration, a frequency, and can see so much more and so much stronger in its character, in its nature, in its capacity to fly above everything. And that is what this sort of love does. It does make us alone. But here's the truth of it. It's not that we're lonely, right? Because there's a difference there. And a lonely person is never going to be able to rise in love. A lonely person is going to fall into love and probably crash and burn if that love doesn't work out for them. They're going to be torn apart, falling apart at the seams because, oh my gosh, this person decided to move a different direction than the direction that I wanted them to move. With me, of course, and how I wanted them to move. So they're not rising. They are falling, and they are falling together often. Two immature, broken parties coming together, and that lean on each other, not because they are strong and they are together, and we think like this together, because being in love and rising in love makes you like this. It strengthens you, yes, but you're already strong, and two strong parties coming together, uniting, becoming one, is that rise, okay? That's that rise. Two broken parties coming together, because they're broken, they cannot fit their pieces together properly. So they are going to lean on each other and push and pull and try to make the other do as they want in some fashion or form until they both fall. And they will be falling until they do the work on themselves. So immature love is falling in love, and mature love is rising in love. But we have to understand that that rising also makes it where we are very alone, because there's not a whole lot of others out here. And that mature love, get this, here's a really important piece. Because we don't need our partner, because we choose our partner, we choose to be in love, we choose to be in relationship, we want it because it is a choice, because it is the cherry on top of everything else. It's not fulfilling us. It is just accentuating everything that's already so fucking amazing. Ah, dang it. Anyway, I said the F word. I was doing so good too. Oh well, next video can be promotional. So it can be so fucking amazing, right? When it is that fucking amazing, then it is just that cherry. It just is the sweetness. It's the juiciness. It is so yummy. But at the same time, it's not needed because life is yummy anyway. We've got it all going on anyway. We're happy anyway. And that's how you call in those loves, those mature loves. Otherwise, you can be a strong person that can call in an immature person and somebody that is going to lean on you. And that happens often. The strong individual who is centered in themselves and then attracts because they have, I really want a relationship. So we go around and we end up connecting and we think that somebody's strong, or maybe we're just playing, right? Exploring relationship, expanding, learning, and we end up attracting broken people in those situations. But it doesn't make us happy. That actually starts to derail us and pull from us. It eats away at us when a strong person does that. But when two strong people come together, they do become like one. And in that oneness, they still are alone. And they understand that they are alone because they are strong in who they are. And that should something happen to one of them, is it gonna fucking hurt? Of course it is. We're human beings, right? Of course it's gonna hurt if we have loss. But it's not going to break us as strong individuals, because we were strong before, and we can be strong during, and we can be strong after. Okay? So the love that makes us realize that we're even more alone is the mature love. It is the love that we rise in, that we become freer in, that we break all the bondages that we have been living in out of. Can you imagine that? Imagine the bondage that you know that you're in, because we put ourselves in bondage all the time, right? We're so fucking free that we put ourselves in bondage, and it's okay. Free will. Yep, that's what we do. So we run around and we go up, shackle ourselves up in this way and in that way, lock ourselves down, pretend to be this, struggle here, have weak boundaries there, do this, do that, and we have all this bondage. Now imagine if you were in relationship with somebody that was strong in their core, and their strength and your strength came together, and those shackles, that bondage that maybe you were aware of or maybe you weren't, because we all have it, but that bondage just started to break away. And what would that do? Number one, it makes you stronger, right? You get even stronger. You get even more certain in who you are, more aligned to your core, right? Because there's nobody that's 100% aligned to their core, okay? We're human. We're here to learn, to expand. Nobody's 100%. And we ebb and we flow, moment by moment, day by day. But we get stronger if we have less bondage, right? So what if a relationship that was so strong because both individuals were so strong that actually allowed for the light to be shown on the bondage? And then other relationships that were not pure, that were not strong, that were not stable, that were trying to push through boundaries, that were using and abusing. And I'm not just talking about relationship with other people. This can be relationship with our work. This can be relationship with money. This can be relationship with a house, with a car, with our health, with anything, okay? Because we put ourselves in bondage in all of those areas and more. Well, what if there was this relationship of love that you're rising in actually allowed you to break free of those bondages, all of them? And what would that do? That would make you rise even greater, right? And you would feel stronger and more aligned. And at the end of the day, probably just a little bit more alone. Because as we become who we really are, as we really access the love that we really are at our core, we discover that we are like the eagle. And much like that eagle, we're flying out there, and there's not very many people that are there to be with us. We have to be good with being alone. We have to be good with being strong in ourselves. We have to be good with finding that love and that happiness right here, and not looking for it out there, because that's all the broken, that's all the immature, that's all the needy, the codependent. Okay, that's where all the problems come. And the more strong we become in who we are, and the higher we rise like an eagle in love, in self, and with another, well, the lonelier we learn that. Can't talk. The lonelier we are as well. But the purer we are. And guess what? Here's the really cool shit of this. Is that much like the eagle rises above the storm. You realize that? Eagles fly above the clouds. Do you know that eagles can see, I don't know what the feet is, but they actually see the energetic waves that come up off of the Earth's surface. They can see that when movement is happening, that's how they see their prey way down below. They actually get like a temperature reading of what is going on the ground, even though they're way up there, way above the storm. So they're flying above the storm. And a storm in our world is what? Contrast, conflict, right? Suffering, bondage. Well, you can fly above it all. like the eagle. But it's going to require you to tap into you, to tap into your core, to want to be in alignment, understand the power of alignment, and then subtly, just subtly, those most subtle little adjustments make the biggest shifts. So subtly adjust toward that feeling. And that's what you got to do, is toward the feeling. Okay? It is that heart-centeredness. It is joy. It is happiness. It is gratitude. It is love. Highest frequencies that we can focus in on is love and gratitude and happiness, joy. Okay? And we have to find them in here to be able to physically manifest them out in our world, because we get what we feel first. Did you hear that? We get what we feel first. So if you're feeling suffering, you're feeling fear, you're feeling lonely, you're feeling sadness, you're feeling anger, you're feeling wrongdoing, you're feeling bitterness, you're feeling suffering, you're feeling sorry for yourself, and you're looking out there to justify as to why you should be feeling this way, well then, no shit why you're getting it, because you're feeling it first. So you want something good to happen? You want to call in that mature love? You want to call in that strong, united relationship so that you can actually be one, strong, together? Then you got to feel it first. And that means that you got to know that you're worthy of it. It means that you've got to know that you are lovable. It means that you've got to know who you are. Or at least have made that subtle adjustment to be discovering who you are and be working toward it. All right, so there you go. That's my topic of the... Yesterday was a beautiful sunny day around here too. I did enjoy it. I had food poisoning yesterday. Sucked. Ended up laying in bed till like 2 o'clock, curled up in a ball, but thanks for my sweet man. He was just like snuggled up next to me and everything, and he didn't leave my side. It was awesome. I felt bad though, because I had him all in bed with me, and I was just like, ugh. Second day Indian food. And then I realized, what did I do? I ordered Indian food right after a snowstorm, and something was probably not that great. So there you have it. Don't order Indian food in a place that's not used to a snowstorm and then think, oh yeah, let's have it for leftovers the next day. That's what I did. Nasty, nasty food poisoning. Today, oh my goodness, I feel so much better. Okay, can't you tell? I'm like, yay, I'm back. Okay, feeling so much lighter, so much better, so much healthier, so much freer, just like love can make us do, if we are aligned to the love first in ourselves. All right, on that note, you see, any announcements? Shoot, I have so many announcements actually. What I recommend is you just go to www.kendalwilliams.com. Keep following me on here. Pay attention to all the stuff that is coming out. I have free consults going right now. I strongly encourage you to take advantage of that, and I will put that in the comments section. I am doing free consultations right now, okay? So this is a $150 value off the top right there, because that's what I typically charge for my consultations. But right now I'm doing them for free, and here's why. I'm doing those for free because I am doing this amazing 8-week program with 15 dynamic people who, guess what, want to become unavailable for all the bullshit. Okay? And maybe that's why I just should rename this too. Unavailable for the bullshit. Because that's what you probably want. You are probably sick and tired of the conflict and the differences going on in your life. You're probably sick and tired of the suffering. You're probably going, okay, yeah, Kendal, you talk about this, you talk about that. I want the love, I want the money, I want the health, I want this, I want. And how do I get unavailable for it? Well, I just told you, kind of, sort of, through the last however many minutes I've been on here. You got to become unavailable for it by getting in alignment to who you are, knowing who you are, finding the love, the joy, the happiness, the gratitude inside. And that sounds all simple, right? Yeah, simple, not easy, whatever that term is. But that's what you have to do. But how do you do it? What are the steps? That's so much harder than what it actually might seem, right? Because we got this thing right here that keeps pointing out to us all the past bullshit It keeps pointing out to us our present pain and suffering. It tells us that we should justify and that we should be understood and that we better freak the fuck out about the future because it's going to give us more of this crap. But it doesn't have to be that way. We can make that subtle little adjustment and we can make tomorrow fucking phenomenal and great. We can change it with a few simple steps. And that's what this 8 weeks is about. It is becoming unavailable for the bullshit, becoming unavailable for so much contrast in life. Contrast is great. Yes, it makes us know what we want and what we don't want. But wouldn't it be nice just to actually access some flow and joy and have something to be grateful for? So reach out to me about those free consults. Take advantage of it. They're only available for a limited time. This 8-week program is only available to a few, 15 people, okay? I'm going to be knocking off your socks with some killer education on this and taking you from wherever you're at to a path of clarity and happiness. Okay, guys, I will catch you tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee. Love you.